guys.
Ooh!
We are alive. We're live.
We're live.
Hey, yay!
Right. Dog Bar Comedy Tuesday night, people. We're small, but we are mighty. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very symmetrical. On Zoom, we get 2 rows of 3. So
there you go.
A lot better than 7. So if any of these latecomers, these flakes, show up, we're gonna have to boot them out. Yeah. Carol. Carol's working the door of our Zoom meeting room.
The door.
Right? We can't get in without your permission.
That's right.
Carol?
Nope. No intro.
Got a invisible baby here. Invisible but very loud. Anyway, I'm Wild Joe. I just got back from a 10-hour drive today that was supposed to take 5 hours, but with the baby crying the whole time, I had to stop a lot. So anyway, I decided to let them hang out with me, even though I'm doing the show, because they were crying all day. So I feel sorry for them.
There we are.
Aw, see, I have a heart. There is.
Yeah, make sure if you are listening on a second device that you turn it down because it creates an echo.
Right, let me just share mine really quick.
Okay, listen, guys, let's get the theme song going by the late and great GT. And during that time,
we can share.
During that time, share it everywhere. Start
there you go.
watch parties if they still exist.
Way ahead of you.
Goo goo gaga over here.
Woo-woo. Here we go, you.
Wake up when the sun goes down. I wake up when the sun goes down. I wanna do some comedy. I wanna do some comedy. At a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar. I can't say what I wanna say. I can't say what I wanna say. Uncensored. Dive bar comedy. Dive bar comedy. Dirty bad nasty 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 comedy. Dive bar comedy.
There we go.
Yes.
Wow, all right.
Excellent.
That's GT. I actually, I booked out, I'm Wild Joe, by the way. I booked all of December. Here's baby, goo goo gaga, fake baby. I booked out all of December, January, and like half of February already by going through all our old Dive Bar comedy episodes and pulling out people who have already been on the show back when we used to do it at the real bar. So that's where a lot of our guests are from tonight. There's like some annoying background distractions going on right now, but that's normal for a bar. So normally not babies. It's like a baby acting like a baby. Like she's
you know, a tiny drunk adult don't pay.
Right? They're just little drunk people.
Oh my god. I mean, she's saying goo goo gaga. Like that's like a fake baby. She's a baby pretending to be a baby. It's very like was it that MC Escher painting with the hand, painting the hand. Anyway, all right, let's get to our guests. So we have in the house from their virtual bars, Jake Bassi.
Yes. Oh.
All right. Rugged. We have Erin Mohr at Erin Mohr Comedy.
Hi.
Wow, every time
Good
I
to be
see you, your
seen.
hair is longer and longer and longer.
Tell me about it.
It's gonna be like me. Same thing. I'm doing the COVID hair. Go down to our butts pretty soon. Okay, who else we got? Mr. See is growing his hair out. Mr.
That's
See.
right. It's down in my butt. You should see me naked. It's beautiful.
Wow. Does it get longer when it's wet? Oh my God. This goo goo gaga. Okay, let's see.
Commander.
She thinks she's hilarious.
She thinks she's so funny.
Just like her dad.
One day she will be. I don't know. All right. And last but not least, we have a returning guest, Mike Muratore.
Hey, Joe.
And me.
What's going
Don't forget me.
on?
Right.
Oh my gosh. And Carol, I talked to you, but Carol Newell.
Thank you.
Looking bright and shiny, red. Couple of redheads tonight. Jake Bassi is super redhead. Oh my God. I need a muzzle. Can't muzzle babies, but I do need a muzzle for this one. Okay. You know what I did? I put on baby TV of her choice, the child TV in the next room, and it's playing right now as we speak. But no, the baby is coming here to act like a baby.
Keep on popping.
Find a way to stream the show so she can look at it in another room.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should put up the show on the big screen.
Yeah, she
Anyway.
probably watched that.
I wish I had a mute button specifically for babies, but it doesn't work that way. So
No, it's called a
ask
chop to the
questions.
throat. Just a quick chop. So get quiet. I swear.
Oh,
Just ask Mike. He knows
Mike
I
knows
know
about
about
mute
what?
buttons.
Being quiet?
about making people be quiet.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm an
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute myself. So I'm gonna ask a real open-ended question to our first guest, Jake Bassi, and then why don't you just answer it in as long-winded a fashion as you can so that I can mute myself and thereby mute my baby. Jake, how did you get into comedy and where'd you come from, and what brought you to LA?
What got me into comedy? Well, that is quite a lengthy story, so you're in for a treat, Joe. So I actually started comedy for the very first time when I was 14 years old. This was a while ago. So my best friend's dad decided that I should try comedy because I was already like into theater. I did school plays and all that stuff. I already have good stage presence. So he signed me up for a 6-week stand-up comedy class. The Laugh Factory in Hollywood, owned by the great Jamie Masada. Shout out to Jamie Masada. So every week for this course was a guest comic, one of which became my mentor later when I started taking it seriously. We'll get to that in a second. My mentor is Lisa Ann Walter. She was the nanny in the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap. She, along with others, basically taught a bunch of 14, 15-year-old teenagers the basics of comedy, not necessarily like how to be funny, but just being confident in public speaking and all that sort of thing. But I really enjoyed it. And from like 14 to 16, I would get snuck into bar shows at the Springbok, the Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City, which I don't know if it's still there anymore, but it's around. And at 16, I was discouraged from it early. My mother did not approve of it. And also, I joked frequently about the Bush administration. And that's not funny because I was 16, couldn't vote yet. And I was already like politically like active because of, 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina and that sort of thing. And I got into, acting and started taking that more seriously and put comedy on the shelf for 10 years. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. So I started at the hub, at the capital of it all. I saw Whitney Cummings before she blew up. I saw Dante Ruscia Pasta Sauce, whatever his last name is. You guys might know him. I learned from him. I learned from Stephen Pearl. That's another name drop. I'm name dropping like a typical LA native. Look at me. God. But I took 10 years off of the game to focus on other stuff. And I ran into my mentor, Lisa Ann Walter, that I mentioned before, at a yogurt store that I worked at. And she was like, hey, I remember you. Are you still doing comedy? And I'm like, no, I gave up. And she's like, you shouldn't have done that. You need to get back into it. I was in my mid-20s. I've gotten a little bit more life experience, a little bit more suffering. I went through college and all that. So now I have material to talk about and all that stuff instead of being some dumb kid who doesn't know his dad or whatever. So I started taking comedy seriously at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I decided to put the pedal to the metal and really get it going because I am a loser with no future. So I might as well do whatever I want, right?
Damn
So,
right.
yeah, I started doing it, and 2020 was a bad year to get my shit back together. So I want to say I've been taking comedy seriously for 2 years, but there's that 5-month gap that we kind of went through. So is it 2 years? I don't know. But I'm happy to be going into the game now. I'm doing comedy in Oklahoma City now. I've wanted to spread my wings out and do comedy in other places before the pandy, but all of that COVID money sped up the process to make it happen faster. So now I'm out here in the Midwest. I'll drive as far as Dallas for an open mic. That's a 3-hour drive south. I'll go that far to do 5 minutes for nothing, and that's if they're open. But I'm out there and I'm getting it, and I will return to Los Angeles when we have shows again. And not discounting this is a show too. I'm not shitting on that. But LA.
So Carol does like 7 shows a week.
Yeah,
Carol is
Killing
the
it, right?
dead mother of street comedy.
Carol really, I was talking to her earlier before the show, and she really changed my mind about these virtual shows. Yes, they're weird. Yes, they're strange, and it's new, but we're comics. We adapt. We adapt and we improvise, and we will conquer, and we are stronger comics by putting in those reps and getting out there and getting it, because it's not about stardom. It's not about getting famous or none of that bullshit. Fuck the game, just go out there and do it, because I'm going to be doing it until I breathe my last breath, because I am a loser with no future, and I want to build somewhat of a future.
Right. Oh, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
In the Midwest where you are they doing like parking lot shows, underground shows, stuff like that?
From what I know, there are outside shows. I haven't been doing those, more because I haven't been invited. But there are there are shows that are realsies shows with realsies audience members that are happening. They're being smart about it. Most venues are at half capacity, social distance, people are wearing a mask. I even bring my own microphone to the shows because I don't want to share a microphone with other comics that might have the Rona.
Yep.
And
That's smart. That's smart.
They're hungry out here. They want to be entertained, and people see the Midwest as like flyover states. There's nothing there. Bullshit. There's a scene out here. It's smaller. It's not
Middle America chooses every president.
What's up?
Middle America chooses every president.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much.
No, that's a good story. And I like how you were talking about one person got you back into comedy, because sometimes it's just the advice of one person that you respect that can turn everything around. So congrats on getting back into it and sticking with it through these weird times. Can't wait to hear your new stuff. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Get to our other guest, Erin Mohr. There you are.
Hello.
You've been on our virtual show. You've been on our real show at the Lotus Lounge, I believe, and maybe even out in the valley at Liquid Zoo.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Done both
I
of
remember
those.
talking to you out there and with GT, and he couldn't stop calling you, hey man, hey dude, hey bro, which is actually rude when you obviously are pulling off a female. You got the lipstick, nail polish, long hair, and it's kind of disrespectful, but whatever.
No. It's fun. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Oh my God, this Goo Goo Gaga stuff. All right. And you've told us your story before that you were married, and then after your divorce is when you got into comedy. So how's it been going, and how have you been handling pandemic comedy?
I went through a period of denial for like the first 3 months. I'd say maybe 2 months, where I didn't want to try Zoom comedy. I just kind of stuck to staying at home and writing. And then I started doing the Zoom shows, and then I hated them maybe for a couple months. Just every minute was torture. Then roundabout maybe August, I had a great show, and then suddenly there's some value in this. Actually, I was doing a show, and a couple ladies were chatting. That's one of the nice things about Zoom, is that you can see comments from people while you're doing your sets, right? People can comment on your jokes and stuff. And a couple ladies started talking, a couple gals started talking about my hair and how great it was and how awesome my nails were and this other stuff. I'm like, you know what? These Zoom shows aren't that bad after all. It doesn't take much. Just a few compliments.
It is fun when people comment. It makes it so much more fun, especially when they're commenting in real time.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. You can kind of play off that, and if you can read it and still do your set, it's not really that distracting, and sometimes you can incorporate it. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing the comments while I'm performing. Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of Zoom shows. Have you been getting out there and doing the distance shows or outdoor shows or anything like that?
I've done 2 live shows since the pandemic started. Yeah, they've been good. It feels weird now. It definitely feels weird, and it's gonna. I know, like once things kind of open up, there's gonna be a period of adjustment. But
so were the shows masked or unmasked? Because there seems to be like this mask coming on, coming off. When do you take it off? People are taking it off to talk into the microphone, which looks better, but then they're spitting their droplets into the microphone, which Jake, that's smart to bring your own.
Yeah.
Good investment.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's always an awkward situation. Last live show I did, I had a mask on, but it was like a bad mask. So when I was talking, it just naturally slid down. And then I was like, it's better if they can see my face anyway. And so it sort of ended up one of those chin, which is the worst kind of mask, the chin strap mask.
Yeah, pretty ineffective. Yeah, I've done a couple. One was actually a live shoot. It was this was like 3 or 4 months ago before, and so there was a limited number of people that could be in the room, which was 10 people. So there was 7 audience members and a smattering of the people, and it was hard. It was a struggle, to get 7 people to, laugh and stay engaged. I mean, it was like a Zoom show in real time, basically.
Or a die-hard comedy show in real life.
Yeah. But yeah, then I did another show in a small little room not too long ago, which was scary because it wasn't properly ventilated, and some people weren't wearing the masks, and I ended up getting tested. Like, I waited a week, got tested. I'm fine. Knock on wood.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the ventilation thing. So not only are they indoors, they have all the windows closed. And it's all about airflow.
Don't have windows.
Yeah, this is like no windows. This was Bert's back room.
Oh, Vicky's.
Vicky's, yes. Vicky's.
I got into a fight with a stripper there. I'll tell you guys about it when it's my turn.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, I think it might be Mike's turn. Erin,
that was you, Mike? You and I got it? I remember that.
No, you're nice, Erin. She wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Wow. All right, Erin. Hate to cut you short, but that sounds like a good stripper story. I'm going to see what Mike has up his sleeve.
Other side.
All right.
Good to see you again.
Everybody.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Joe. I'm glad you're doing good, and you and your kids are doing good. Hi, Mr. C. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, God.
The hair works for you, bro. That's some pussy hair, dude. You're gonna get some action with that hair, man. That shit is pimp deep. That hair is pimp deep, bro.
And you know what else about Mista See? he has a lot of different styles for his hair too. It's not usually just hanging down. Sometimes it's like over here, over there, or different ways. So
I like it when he does the Mickey Mouse ears.
See, you're like black camouflage, man. You're gonna come up on some girls. You're not messing around, man.
Dude, it looks like the rope exercise at the gym, dude.
He ain't playing. He ain't playing. I was at Bert's Backroom Vicky's, and I got heckled by a stripper, right? And she thought she was gonna talk trash to me. So she makes me sit up in the front, and she starts mouthing off. And my first thing was strippers should not be allowed to talk. And if they do, they should get a ticket for talking. That's not what they're here to do. Just take off your clothes and whip around that pole and just dream your dream. And it just went back and forth, back and forth. And then I said to her, I go, I have more respect for hookers because at least you're getting something out of it. Strippers, if you're stupid enough to give a stripper money, you're stupid enough to lose your cash. So her and I going back and forth, back and forth. Then I called her an Alaska 1 because she was from Alaska. And I'm like, well, at least you have all your teeth. So you probably got lucky there. And she goes, you're pushing my buttons. I go, well, I can be like your dad and unbutton your buttons. How would you like that? She runs off stage crying, right? Thinking that I'm not going to do anything. I follow her down the steps. And I kept going at her. I go, let's get something straight. Number one, if you want to be a comic, don't heckle because you don't know who's going to heckle back. That's the first lesson. Number two, if you're a stripper, who told you you should be a comic? The only thing that's funny about you is you dancing on the pole and not making any money. So why don't you just leave Bert's Vicky's back room? They charge you there. Erin, now they're charging $10 for 10 minutes. My friend calls me to do it. My friend owns the place. And I'm like, dude.
I'm confused. Is this a strip club or is this a comedy club? And why was the stripper in the comedy club? I'm confused.
Okay, the stripper was trying to do comedy at this mic that you pay money in. And she couldn't, she started heckling me and I tortured her. So that was the end of that. But they charge $10 to do 10 minutes of stage time in a room where you're probably going to catch COVID because there's no ventilation. And they're smoking weed the entire time. It's just like fogs of smoke and
droplets.
Yeah, exactly. Topless. Yes, Mr. See. Yes. Yeah, it was awful. It was useless. And then I got a restraining order from my podcast too. I beat that.
Wait,
I'll make this quick.
What?
I got a restraining order from doing the podcast. And I beat
Who gave you a restraining order?
Okay. I'll make this a quick story so everybody else can get on. I was doing a podcast up until September, right? We had on a guest, and I have a degree in counseling. So we were talking about her cousin to try to get her cousin into rehab. Never said her last name, never said where she lived, never talked about anything where he would even mention her. And what happened was she didn't like what we said. And she decided to give me a temporary restraining order. Well, I was a process server. So I counter-served her the next day. Didn't work out for her in court. We all go to court. I wrote this beautiful letter to the judge. The judge reads the letter and says to the other side, why didn't you work it out with them? Why are we in court? Why are you falsifying a crime? Nobody's trying to kill you. They're trying to help you. Case dismissed. She had to pay for both lawyers and all the court fees, which was about $10,000.
Yep. Judges get pissed about that. If they can't make money off it, they don't want you in court.
Exactly. And judges, and this is for you guys, judges do not do well when people falsify crimes. If you just walk in and you just create some stupid ass crime off the top of your head and you don't have any evidence, you don't have anything, the judge will bury you. They'll dismiss it and then they'll make you pay for the court fees, which are quite expensive, like $2,500.
Then maybe there's something else, a different crime like libel or, where you were hurting her reputation, right? Because you were revealing negative things about her. But
that would be the case, Joanne.
That'd be slander if it's verbal.
Listen, if he actually said her last name, that would be but nobody said anything. There was no last name. There was no phone number. There was no location. There was nothing. She just
Wow.
decided to create a crime because she's a raging alcoholic, and she showed up to court drunk. So
But
the
she was a
judge just
responsible,
buried
a pretty
her.
responsible alcoholic. That's called a functioning alcoholic if they still make their court date even when they're drunk.
Oh,
Nice.
the judge was not having it. He wouldn't let her talk. He kept cutting her
Wow.
off. He goes, "You don't have a case." He goes, "Have a good life." That's $10,000. And that was the end of that one.
Wow.
Right
Some
on,
people are
brother.
sue happy. Some people just love taking people to court.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, especially if they're old and African American.
Oh my God.
I mean, I probably should have sued some people in the past, and I've never done it. But it's one of those things you got to learn how to do it and whatever. But I probably should have sued more people than I have. A happy medium, right?
Hell of a
Between
sport.
never suing anybody, getting walked all over, and suing everybody and trying to take advantage of other people.
Well, the problem is when you sue somebody, Joe, it's incredibly draining financially
Yeah.
and time. So a lot of times a judge will want you to work it out outside the courtroom because it's just a financial drain and it just wastes everybody's time.
Yeah.
And if you don't win and you got to pay the other side, you can lose a boatload of cash.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it could be worth it if somebody really did screw you over in a business deal or something like that.
Right.
And you have
If
to
it's
get your
worth
money,
it. Yeah.
that makes sense. But anyway, well, that's some interesting knowledge. We're learning things on this show. Always.
Yes.
I love it. All right, Mike. Well, it's going to be, that's just it. Three people in our show. Carol, I never get to interview Carol because there's always so many people and I miss out on Carol, but she's raising her hand like a good student. Were you a front of the class person or the back of the
Wait,
class?
did we do Jake?
I always sit
Yeah.
in the front of the class.
Me too, because I have poor eyesight. That's why. That's my reason.
Yeah.
And I wanted to feel like
I
if
got
I'm
one.
paying, especially in college, if I'm paying for the class, I want it to feel like it's just me and the teacher. Like it's like almost like a one-on-one lesson. I don't want to see like 100 heads of other people in front of me. But
Exactly. Yeah. I always got along better with the teachers than I did all the other kids anyways. So I always sat in the front of the class.
I like it. Yeah. Get that personalized instruction.
Oh,
Yes.
I have announcements. I don't
Go
if it's
for
okay.
it.
I have some
Go for it.
announcements.
Do it.
December 12th, me and my headliner, Mike Muratore, who's on this show, you guys, we're doing the carpool comedy. Contrary to popular belief, not everything is locked down in Los Angeles, and you can still come sit in your car and watch a show and listen to it over your radio. So we have tickets available for that on the Eventbrite.
Where is it?
It's in Van Nuys, and it's at the Palace Production Center. So you can get your
Wait,
tickets.
what happened to the fries? What happened to the fries parking lot?
That's a
is this the
totally
one?
different show.
Oh, that's a different show. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
No,
where?
this is at the Palace Production Center in Van Nuys. You can get
Okay.
tickets on the Eventbrite. It's on Instagram at carpool_comedy. And then we also have all our open mics and all our park shows we're still doing all of that. I heard on the radio today that only the restaurants dining is basically closed down, that you could still go to zoos and gardens and all that kind of outdoor stuff. You can still do that, all of that.
But the zoo is appointment only and always has been. It never was just wide
50%.
open. So you got to
Right.
make an appointment
50%
if you want to go to the
capacity.
zoo. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so yeah.
I'm sure it won't. I think it's a 3-week special lockdown. See, I'm confused because in the beginning, there was some kind of stay-at-home order in March. Nobody ever told me that ended. I thought we were still doing it. I'm very confused because they're like, oh, this is almost as strict as back in March. And I'm like, wait a second. I thought we were still doing that, but anyway, I feel like I'm going to be like the only one still home and everybody else is out partying. And I just missed out on the whole party. But they say this new lockdown is a 3-week long thing. So maybe they'll open up outdoor dining again after 3 weeks.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how they come up with these laws and how it's even legal. Like if there's no due process or whatever, like how it's legal to suddenly be like,
Arbitrarily,
now everyone has
yeah.
a curfew. Now everyone can't go out to eat. I mean, honestly.
And
they
you can
should at
still
least
get
let
your
us
hair
vote.
done, and you can still get your nails done. You can still get your hair done. That's still permissible.
I don't know. I do my own hair
That's
and
indoors.
nails.
Well, those are
Indoors.
necessary.
No, they weren't necessary in March. I don't understand.
Cats everywhere upset.
Yeah,
Mm,
gruesome, Newsome.
mm.
Well, anyway, I'm not getting out much at night anyway, especially now that it gets dark at 5 p.m. So, and I have these two little, I don't know what to call them, rugrats or whatever to look after. So it's hard to go anywhere. Babies, two babies that can speak. She's like, I'm a baby. I'm like, you're not really going to say that.
You say
Yeah.
that was 27.
Yeah. So until they change the laws and let me bring my baby to the bar, I'm stuck babysitting. I call it babysitting. Everybody says, oh, you can't call it babysitting if you're the mother. I go, well, there's no word for it. Baby watching, baby caring. This is babysitting. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, let's start our
It's called
show.
mothering.
Oh,
I got
there
a
you
lot
go.
of
It's
jibber
mothering.
jabber going on here. Let's start our show. I'm going to turn it over to Mista See. Mista See, do you have any announcements or anything you've been up to that you want to fill people in on?
Well, yeah, I got a little something going on. Actually, this Sunday in Las Vegas on December 6th, I'm going to be at the Red Palms for the Sauce and the Shitty show set up by Miss Brenda Brown, who is also my campaign manager for my presidential campaign. So anybody that's out in Vegas, near Vegas, bring your butts out on December 6th at the Red Palms. You can call their number to schedule, or you can check out Sauce in the City on Facebook and get yourself a ticket if needed. Past that, it's all good, and I'm ready to get buck wild.
2024.
All right, Mr. C. Mr. C, the host with the most. Let's start the show. You pick them, and let's see how many we can get through before about 10:20.
All righty, right. Well, let's bang it out. Let's bang it out. So we ready for the Dial Bar Comedy Show. As mentioned, I am Mr. C, the Enforcer, a.k.a. Poppy Carlo, the Bad Boy. And I'm here to offer the show. We got 3 great comedians, plus our 2 hosts who's going to lay it down tonight. We're going to bang it out. Boy, girl, girl. That's the pattern. We love patterns in life. So I love to prepare people so you can know what's going to happen. So you guys ready to start the Dial Bar Comedy Show? Can I get a yeah?
Yay.
We'll jump right into our first comedian. This guy is actually a classic family favorite, and I think he's got a little bit of thug in him because he loves to fight strippers and check bitches. And this gentleman is a wonderful man. He's super smooth, and his name actually is like a great rapper, Eminem. So you know he's a bad motherfucker, and he also has a Latino type of swag. So it's like, viva Boricua, you know what I'm saying? Corazon, all that shit. So this man is about to lay it down. Now, my Spanish is terrible. That's because I'm African-American. So don't worry. So you guys ready for this next comedian? Can I get a yeah? Clap for Mike, the Madman Muratore.
Thank you, Mr. C. It's been a long week. Carol and I are the king and queen of street comedy in Los Angeles, people.
That's right.
We perform inside of ovens, inside of fountains. Carol called me the other day and she goes, "Woo, Mike, I've got this great gig. You're going to be performing in my convict boyfriend's cell. I'm going to pay you with shankings in heaven. Call me back."
There's a lot of people out of jail.
Mike, it's Carol. You and Erin and Jake and Mr. C are going to be performing in front of a firing squad. I'm going to pay you with bullets. Call me back. Mike, it's Carol. You're going to be performing at Pan Pacific Park with Joanne and her kids. Her kids are going to heckle you with baby noises while the Koreans sick their dogs on you. Call me back. I did a show with Carol at Pan Pacific Park where these stones that look like Stonehenge were in front of me, and these Koreans with dogs are heckling me from behind, and homeless people are popping up out of the fucking stones like this, doing this. "Yeah, that shit's good, motherfucker, that's good." And then peek down. "Yeah, I just pissed myself. Can you give me $1? Can you give me a motherfucking $1? Right back. How the fuck you gonna steal with a heckler that's popping in and out of a fucking stove like a Muppet? Fucking care. Dogs are running around. Korean, let me tell you, I lived in Koreatown. Korean towns, Mr. See, are the Negroes of the Orient. They are some rough motherfuckers, okay?
Facts.
I'm Puerto Rican, Italian, and black, and let me tell you, these motherfuckers are psychotic. I sick dog on you, Mike. You steal, get out the stall. Don't you come back here. Don't you fucking come back here, Mike. All right, Susie, I'm just going to walk around in a circle till you cave in and eat that dog. I know you're fucking hungry because you don't look Korean. You look like an Eskimo. You a big bitch. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Carol. You know what I'm talking about, Carol. You know what I'm fucking talking about. Carol and I do a gig at a Persian restaurant. Rumi.
Mhm.
Go for the Turkish coffee. Because let me tell you
God, I know where that is.
Yes, you drink this Turkish coffee, Mr. C, you're going to become white and you're going to have an out-of-body experience. That's all I'm saying. Because the shit is so strong. I'm drinking 10 shots of espresso. I can't feel my face right now, okay? I'm going to die awake. I'm like, this is everlasting life. I need to sleep. Off my own tongue. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. Let me tell you something, ladies. Erin and Carol and Joe. All my friends that are goofy want to marry models. Let me tell you something. I worked at LA Models. You never, ever, ever, ever date a model. You can have sex with a model, Jake, when you get rich enough, but you can't fucking date these bitches because you got to be mean and nice at the same time. Mr. C's got game. Jake, you're a nice fucking guy. Those bitches will take you for all your fucking cash. Don't do it, Oklahoma, Jake. Don't you? You got to have swag. Like Mr. C, you got to have that raspy African black voice. You go, rape isn't what I am, baby. It's what I do. I'm going to take my long dreadlocks and wrap them around your head like Black Spider-Man, and you're going to love this shit, baby. And Carol's going to cook you some pie, and Mike's going to hit you with the car and spit in your eye. Right. That's what we're going to do. And Erin's just going to record the whole fucking thing. My new friend Erin's going to record it all. I was married once. It's a fucking nightmare. So was Carol. I had mine annulled. You couldn't. Let me tell you something, people. Never again. Okay.
Mhm.
Carol and I are buds. I'm going to die in a bowl of cocaine getting jerked off by a hooker before I fucking get married again. It will never happen again. It was like going to jail. Never again. Never again, Mr. C. I was on OkCupid. Girl sends me a picture of her eye. Do you think I'm curvy? I'm like, I know. The rest of you can't fit in the photograph. Just bring alcohol. We'll make this shit work. Fat gets skinny with 3 drinks. Fat gets skinny with 3 drinks. Remember that shit. I had sex with this fat shit, Carol, and I'm working my hands on her fat and I cured carpal tunnel syndrome. And she had this back fat, Carol, and I felt like I was climbing the rock wall like CrossFit. It's fucking ridiculous. She was big. You know what I'm saying? I quit drinking, guys, so now I can't do it anymore. I can't have sex with fat women anymore because I can't. I get food poisoning from elephant. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I have banged so many fat chicks that my dick has a double chin. That's all I'm saying. I've had sex with so many fat chicks that my penis has gone to Jenny Craig. That's all I'm saying. I have had sex with so many fat chicks that my balls have diabetes. That's all I'm saying. My penis has gone blind, people. My penis has gone blind.
One eye.
One eye, brother. That eye is closed, my friend. It is closed. Okay? And she had these long fingernails, too, to spear the food. Oh, I like Mike. He's hot. And a fat vegan. How the fuck you gonna be a fat vegan? How you gonna be a fat vegan personal trainer? Only in Los Angeles. I'm your vegan personal trainer. You're 350 pounds. I had a black grandmother. How'd you get wrist bones like mine? You were eating pork fat to get these bones. I got my forearms like an Armenian gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Call me the N-word. Please don't call me Armenian right now. I don't want to get murdered. I don't want to get murdered, okay? I don't want to get murdered, Mr. C. You know what I'm saying, Mr. C? This is my last thing. White people love to fucking talk to their dogs, They're cats, they're birds. Like Jake probably has full-on conversations with his dog after the show. Dogs don't talk back. They don't care what you say. I used to breed dogs. They don't give a shit. They don't want to know what the fuck you're saying. They don't want to know what Carol's thinking. They don't know what I'm thinking. Black and Latin people, you know what doggy daycare is, people? Putting your dog on a tree with a chain. That's it. This is my last thing. Your dog is sick. Your dog is dying. Don't spend more than $2,000. I know this shit because we used to breed fucking dogs. And unless that dog is making you money, Black and Latin people, they ain't spending more than $50. That's on a good day. They'll do shit like this. Your black grandmother has a dog that's sick, and she's like, baby, I love you, Pookie Bear, but I'm going to open this door, and you got to fight it out with the coyotes. May God rest in peace. Get the fuck out of my house. That's what black folk do with their dogs. Tell me I'm wrong. Mr. C knows this shit. If Mr. C had a dog, and he said, Mike, $4,000 to fix his dog, I said, feed it to the coyotes. I'm getting you a new dog, Mr. C. I'm getting you a new dog. All right, my time's up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mike Muratore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. And he was damn right. Damn right. You asked me for $2,000 to $4,000 for my dog, I'm gonna go home and eat that motherfucker.
Exactly. You know this. He's got to go. That motherfucker.
Korean style.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With sweet
Now,
and
he also
sour
mentioned
sauce.
my Korean brother. Go ahead, we say.
So with sweet and sour sauce.
Right?
Sweet and sour.
Right? Right? And he brought up a really classic thing that's in Los Angeles. A lot of the Asians in Los Angeles are either North Korean, South Korean, or Filipino and whatnot. And I've been hanging out with Koreans. One of them a North Korean and whatnot. And did you know that North Koreans call the Koreans from the South and Vietnamese, they call it the dirty South because they all have What? Right? Now, let me tell you about how tight these motherfuckers are. My one homeboy, he was like, yo, Carl, we going out. I said, dude, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, yeah, we going out. He took me to a place like 8 blocks from my house. I've lived here for 10 years. I swear to God, there's nothing going on in there. This motherfucker takes me in there. There's 300 people in there. They're all smoking cigarettes inside. And then he bangs a line of coke off the table. And then you know what? The waitress comes up. It is just like, sir, please do not do that. And then she leaves. And we get served. Shit is tight,
That's
right?
it.
Tight gangster, right? Right. He also mentioned LA fitness people. Now, I have a niece that came to visit me from Philadelphia about a year ago. And she wants to be a fitness instructor. She's a so-called vegan living in LA. So she gets here. My niece, love her to death, but she is about 5'7", 210 pounds. And whatnot. And she's a vegan. And she's like, oh, I want to come to LA and be a trainer. And I'm just looking at her like, you do know that nobody in LA is going to hire a 210-pound vegan trainer. So he is dead on. And that's why Mike Muratore is a bad motherfucker. Another round of applause for Mike the Man Muratore.
He's my favorite.
Right? So we're going to keep it moving right into the next comedian. This comedian is actually super talented. Another classic family favorites. Been with us on the street. Been with us on Zoom. Baby girl does everything inside and outside. So you better watch your back. She'll take your man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get ready. Now, this comedian, love the last name because it reminds me of after having sex, I want more. Do you want more? Can I get a yeah for more? Do you want more? Say yeah. Do you want more? Say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can be a clap, 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 clap for Erin. Give me some more.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Yeah. I've heard that I want more joke a lot in the bedroom. Hey, oh my goodness. Folks, I'm important to note, I'm a trans woman. Just getting that out of the way. So make a note of it. Let's see, I come from a life of privilege. Used to be a man. So yeah. It It was a bit of a drop for me down that privilege ladder. I was, white, cis, hetero, big dog, right? Now I'm the fourth fucking letter in LGBT. Yeah,
Oh,
Mhm.
shit.
yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Yeah, I had to become bisexual just so I could move up a notch. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It was tough. But yeah, I have just had a very special anniversary. I have been now on hormones, female hormones, for 3 years, um, and it's been spectacular. I've been loving all of it. Hormones took an ugly troll of a boy and transformed him into the goddess that you see before you right now. Hi.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
those.
Actually, I'm kidding about that. I was actually hot as a boy as well. Yeah.
Mm.
It was, yeah, the raw materials were there. Yeah, it was basically like the ugly duckling story, only if the duckling was like hot the entire time. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It's yeah, kind of, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's so basically I take 2 pills every day. The first pill I take is estrogen, female hormone. And the second pill actually isn't a hormone, but it's called spironolactone. And what it does is it blocks the testosterone that my body still produces. You guys, I don't know if you've heard this. A lot of people are calling testosterone T now, like in the drug commercials.
Mm.
If you have low T and all that stuff, it always makes me think of Mr. T though. But if you think about it, he's probably wouldn't be the worst spokesperson for testosterone.
Right.
Just yeah, second career maybe for him. I don't know, third, fourth. But yeah, all I know is that you have to block the T if you want to have the TTs.
Mm.
TTs. Yeah. All
Mm.
right. So a lot of people wonder, like, okay, what's it like going from testosterone to becoming an estrogenian? And it's amazing. It's amazing. But here's the way I like to describe it. I don't know if you guys heard this. They say on average, men have a sexual thought every 5 minutes. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Mike, you're probably
Yeah.
in the 3 to 4 minute range. Anyway, so if you think about it, women's minds are kind of like Spotify Premium. Men's minds are like the free version. You know?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so those sexual thoughts, that's all driven by testosterone. That's like testosterone in you. And it's like women, oh no, they're like hormonal once a month. Men, you're hormonal every 5 fucking minutes. Okay. Right? I mean, I don't mean to rag on the guys. I don't think you suck. Really. You probably suck less if we removed your testicles, but I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that. I still have mine. What else? So I've been watching a lot of movies, watching some of the old movies that I watched when I was younger. I watched Lord of the Rings again.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah. Although I got to say, I loved it. I watched it when it first came out. I was presenting as a dude back then,
Mm.
and it's not quite the same now. I look at that, and now it just looks like this fantastical torture porn. It's like 9 hours of a hobbit just being tortured in the worst ways. It's like a 9-hour cut of the Passion of the Christ. Only really in the end, in Lord of the Rings, the king actually does return. So it's a little different.
Mm, mm, mm.
Oh, is it like because I was talking about Jesus or Lord of the Rings? Some people get offended about both. But no, it's like Lord of the Rings, like it's like it's the only place where you could like they have like you could judge the good people and bad people by the color of their skin. Like it's so bad. And not only that, but you can judge how intelligent a person is by their height, or races by their height. Like Gandalf, really, really smart, and then hobbits, dumb at the bottom there. And by the way, hobbits, they come dead last on my sexiness scale.
Feet.
Yeah, and that scale goes the elves, obviously, and then Viggo Mortensen, everybody else, and then the hobbits down at the bottom. Which means yes, I would fuck an orc over a hobbit any day.
Wow.
Roy's probably got some big dick.
No, like at least orcs wear shoes. Okay. But I don't know. It's just that the movies don't resonate with me anymore. It's like, it's probably because there's like 3 women in the entire thing. And then you never see them talking to each other. Really, like the only person I relate to in the entire series is The Ring. That's because both of us have people disappear on us as soon as they get a ring inside or a finger inside. Okay, guys, I think that's my time. I don't know if it's my time.
Yeah, it's
I
your
didn't
time.
know I was gonna keep in time. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. I've been Erin
That's
Mohr.
right, Erin Mohr. That's what I'm talking about. That's how, what? Shit, I learned something from Erin tonight. You know what? From now on, when I meet women, I'm going to tell them I'm giving that orc dick. They can fuck. Them some big dudes. They be, You want to get this pussy beat up? You want to get it beat up? That's how you get it beat up. Get you that orc. That's what I'm talking about. Educational show. Also, hey, Erin, I got a question. Has anyone ever offered to buy the estrogen pills off you like people buy Percocets?
No, are you in the market? I got some extra. I can slip your way.
I feel I've been a little insensitive lately, so I might need to add.
I'll tell you what, if you have some Percocets, we can work out a trade. How about that?
Good, because I'm like Mike. I keep fucking fat women. I need to calm down.
Yeah.
I need to calm down. I'm out of control. It's like they're easy targets. If I had some more estrogen in them, I would feel bad for them, It's terrible. I'm a horrible man. Not as bad as Mike, but a horrible man. That's great stuff right there. And every show is always educational. Erin taught us about mad stuff. She taught us about the process of transitioning, the pill to add, the pill to block, and whatnot. Which I think a lot of guys that are out there kind of running stuff. Maybe our president needed some testosterone blockers. Shit. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be pitiful to the dude. He did try to do his best to be, I guess, what you call a man. You know what I mean? Because like she said, every 5 minutes, gotta stick my dick in something. So that's gonna make you a little rowdy. So if you're retweeting a couple of racists, you call somebody a loser, it's not his fault. It's the testosterone.
Yeah.
There you go. But still don't vote for him. That's the point. And by the way, Carl Anthony for president 2024. I can save all of you. So let's get back on it. So let's give another round of applause for Erin Mohr. Give me some more. That's right, like Busta Rhymes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to jump to our next comedian, another wonderful gentleman, a classic favorite. He is actually hanging out in my homie's old state, who is from Vian, Oklahoma, where all they do is fight, fuck, and drink. Yep. So make sure you understand that. And I'm sure he's had his fair share. So this gentleman right here is going to come to the stage and give you all that movement. He is smooth. He is hardworking. He's back in the game. And this man has been doing comedy since 14, break or not, just like David Chappelle. So you better get ready and get your stuff together for clap, 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 clap for Jake, the snake, Bassi.
Thank you. Yeah. My mother actually named me after Jake the Snake. Fun
Ooh.
fact. My mother, she's a hippie. She hates violence, you know, but when she was pregnant with me, she had this sudden urge to watch wrestling and hockey. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. But, you know, they call me laxative because I make shit happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hey!
Oh. Yeah, but, you know, I could relate to Mike. I could relate to you, Mr. C. You know, I like the big girls. I'm disturbed because I'm down with the thickness, you know? I'm down.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I'll harpoon a whale. I don't give a fuck, man. I'll take what I can get. There's nothing but fat farm girls out here, man. There's some cow tipping in these parts. But Oklahoma's nice. It's okay, I guess. It's the you know. Okay, let's all have our meth anyhow. You know, it's all good and fun. There's people out here with no teeth. They use Dr. Pepper as mouthwash, you know, bunch of rednecks. You know, it's all good. They're my cousins. They're blood. You know, I can't make fun of them too much, you know, but these cats that they mainline Mountain Dew guys. They love that.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love it. But you know, it's nice to be away from the country and not hear helicopters every 2 seconds. It's the state bird, California, the helicopter. You know, it's a lot. Before I break into the current events, no, let's break into the current events because something actually happened today that's fresh off the pot. I got fresh bits for you straight out of the oven. Are you guys ready for this shit? Here we fucking go. So I booked an acting gig in Oklahoma of all places. And naturally, it's a Bible reenactment gig. Love the Bible out here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the story. Spoiler alert, the main character dies and comes back to life at the end. I don't know. I'm not familiar. I'm a heathen. Valhalla awaits me. I'm not too familiar with the story myself. But, you know, I had to do some homework and all that stuff. But, you know, it was a very Christian production crew. You know, I got nothing against them, but they wanted to do a prayer circle before we started filming. And they didn't really give anybody the option to opt out of the prayer circle. I'm open to religion. I'm not convinced by it really, but I also didn't want to be rude and decline the prayer circle. Because look, I'm a bastard son that's not baptized. I'm actually scared that I'll fuck up the energy and God's gonna know something's up, you know? It's fine, you know, it's fresh. Maybe I gotta put the cookies back in the oven, but you know, that's how life is, you know? I was raised by hippies in Southern California, you know, those like Laurel Canyon hippies that like are into healing crystals and shit, you know, like that's not a healing crystal. It's a Coke rock. You love the drugs. And I was born in the 90s. I was a 90s baby. You guys are a little older than me, so you guys probably remember the 90s more than I do. I was born in 91. I remember it kind of, I don't know. I was hooked on Ritalin that was cut with Fun Dip, you know. It was a party. I vibrated for the entire decade, man. I don't remember shit. I was one of those kids that was like on a leash and shit. You know, my mom would take me to a restaurant and the staff would go, ma'am, is that a service child? Oh, emotional support child. Got it. We're clear on that. But yeah, man, I was a messed up kid. I was a really bad kid. You know, and my mom didn't know what to do with me. She didn't know it was wrong, you know. So she's a hippie, like I said before. She liked to sage the house to get rid of all of the negative energy. So my dad left. I wish my dad had made me cigarettes so he would pick me up after school. Oh, well, I still sit when I pee. I didn't learn shit from my dad, but it's all right. I mean, she always said like, oh, you're just like your father. You're just like your father. I'm like, Mom, I don't have a secret family. Okay. I was a bad kid though, man. I was wild. I mean, I was so bad. You know what I got? You know what I got for Christmas one year? Foster parents. I wanted to act when I was a kid, man. I went through, I lived with 4 different foster families in 3 years. So I know what rejection feels like. I know I'm going to make it in the business one day.
Aw.
I know it'll be fine. But like I got back out of there. My mom took me back because, I got older. She needed someone to get beer for her. It was a good time. I loved it. I didn't need the DARE program growing up at all because I had hippie parents. She did coke until I was 8. I knew about marijuana very early on. I was neighbors with the Cholos. Carlos Santana was playing in a loop all the time. I grew up listening to Dr. Drew on Loveline. It was a fucking party, man. I didn't need the DARE program at all. Shoot.
Mhm.
Plowing ahead. Moving forward, enough about my dark and awful childhood. This isn't a therapy session. It's a comedy show, but Rock Bottom does have a basement, but let's move on. I want to wrap this up because my life is like a burrito. I'm done here. I messed that up, but that's okay. I've been bitterly single for about 7 years now. Long time. I'm trying.
Damn.
I'm trying online dating. It's kind of, what the fuck is with the septum piercings? Why are there so many septum piercings? Did you motorboat a tackle box? Thrown back out into the wild? What happened, man? How do you keep track of these chicks? And single moms, I get it. I was raised by one, but we don't need to have the kid in the pictures. No one's trying to be a stepdad right away, man. I'm not a home wrecker. Oh, all right. I did go on a date recently, and I'll end on this. I went on a date with a cam girl recently, and she told me that she really wanted to find a man that knows her worth, and that's $5.99 a month on her OnlyFans account. Hey guys, every day is leg day if you keep running away from your problems. It's been a while. I'm Jake Bassi. Have a good one.
Yeah, another round for Jake the Snake Bassi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Another good job by a great comedian. And once again, the Dive Bar Comedy Show is always educational. We learned that you get really good meth in Oklahoma. And also, we learned that men have secret families. And let's talk about that. I miss the old days.
You just outed yourself, bro.
Let's make America great again. Let's make America great again so we can have alternate families. Now, I do have an educational tip. You know the number one set of men with multiple families? It is truck drivers.
Damn.
I got about 5 truck driver friends. All of them got one in Philly, got one in Florida. And the women know about it. And they just like, he makes $100,000 a year. Leave him alone. You know what I mean? It's great. Great. And that's what you got to learn. America is about family. And that's what it's all about. That's right. So another round of applause for Jake the Snake. Boom! Drop an elbow on him, Bassi.
Keep it going, dog. Jeez, when are you gonna run out of them vocal cords?
I love it. I love it. I love his mama too. Anybody that names a kid after Jake the Snake is a woman after my own heart. I tell you that. So we about to hop into the next ones. We got 2 more left to go, and it's our queen bees of the night. You know what I'm saying? You guys ready for the next comedian? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. The next comedian coming to the stage is the hardest working lady in Los Angeles. 5 to 7 shows a week, outside, inside, online, upside down. She also just heard the prisoners got out, so she's putting in extra work. This lady don't quit. You guys better get ready. Can I get a clap, 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 clap for Carol, the people catcher? Newell.
Carol.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, since it's dive bar comedy, I'm going to tell you some shit right now. So 2019 was a very interesting year for me because it's the year that I returned to dating you guys. Before that, I had been married for 22 years. So the last time I dated before that was a really long time ago. Like it was pagers and payphones the last time I dated. And now it's all online and it's all apps and it's a plethora of penises. Like I mean, everybody wants to send you pictures. They want to text, they want to chat, and they really want to send you pictures. Not solicited, not usually impressive pictures, but still lots of them. So that was interesting last year. Another thing that happened last year was I dated this guy. He's an older guy who is married to a very much older woman. So he was having an extramarital affair with, and he also was on blood pressure medicine, so he couldn't get an erection. So I got to be a pillow princess. I don't know if you know what a pillow princess is, but that just basically means he did stuff to me and I didn't have to do anything. So I got to have lots of orgasms and he got to just do all of the work. So
Wow.
that was eye-opening. And then it turns out that he had a lot of other kinks that I didn't know about going into it, but I found out like he liked dirty underwear. So I gave him some of those. He liked dirty shoes, so I gave him some of those. But he bought me new shoes to replace the old shoes, so I thought that was a great deal. I got a 2 for 1. I got 2 brand new pairs of shoes for an old pair of shoes. And then he told me he wanted me to kick him in the balls. You guys, I kicked him in the balls.
Kick him in the balls,
He loved it.
Carol.
I kicked him for like 20 minutes. I kicked him in the balls. Can you imagine? Oh yeah. So that was my year of yes last year. Well, I was separated from my husband, who recently, like 3 months ago, passed away, you guys, which I know is sad, but just means that I don't have to get divorced and I get the house and I get the cars and I get everything. Yes, I win. So yeah, it's been a heck of a year, you guys, and comedy's been going great. And I also wanted to tell you guys I'm going to be in Vegas on New Year's Eve. I'm doing a show at the Gypsy Cafe, you guys, so you should come out for that. Also, the kicking in the balls is just the greatest thing ever. I got all my aggressions out, you guys, and he loved it. Honestly, he loved it. I was like, is it okay? Am I hurting you? He's like, no, could you kick me harder, please? I was like, okay, if you insist. So yeah, that was fun. What else has been happening? I know it's terrible, but it's hilarious. One thing I did want to tell you about my husband was when we first met. He had cats, but he was very allergic to them. So I also had cats. So then we had a blended cat family. And then eventually we got up to 8 cats, you guys. Poor thing. And I had one cat that loved to sleep on his head. He would not leave him alone. He would sleep on his head and he would just sit there and snore and inhale the cat dander. And then he would sneeze all day. It's just the worst thing for him ever, but he loved that cat. So what are you gonna do? It's always fun living in a house full of cats when you're allergic to them. He had that going for him. Yeah, good times, you guys, good times. All right, you guys, well, I think that's about my time. Thanks for letting me do some stand-up for a change. We usually have so many people I don't really get to, so it was nice for a change to tell you some new stories. All right, you guys, I will see you on the flip side. Next Sunday, I'll be doing my show, The World's Best Laugh, and then Tuesday, I'll be doing the Dive Bar Comedy. All right.
All right.
That's right. Another round of applause for Carol, the people catcher.
So many questions. So many questions.
That's right. Another great job, Awana.
I think Erin wants to be a pillow princess.
Oh, no.
So do I.
I am a pillow princess. I'm already there.
All right, good deal.
But I'm not kicking anybody's balls. So that's what I want to that's what I want to learn about.
Take some classes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just do a 1-day session, you know.
Right? Right? And
Yeah.
that's educational stuff right there. Once again, the Dive Bar
Mhm.
Comedy Show teaching us so many things. And during this pandemic, you can learn a lot from Miss Newell had to say. Number one,
Mhm.
making OnlyFans where you wear underwear for 3 days. Number two, sell your dirty shoes on eBay.
Mhm.
Number three, making OnlyFans where you kick men in the balls for 20 minutes.
Good God.
I'm just saying, like, you got to learn. We teach people how to make money on the Dive Bar Comedy Show. This ain't just a comedy show. This is an economic show. And I want to teach you guys how to be great. And I would also suggest, now she mentioned dick pics. I actually got my first dick pic 2 weeks ago. So let me tell you this shit.
Wow.
So ever since I started getting a little buzz going on, but I ain't nobody, I ain't shit, I get these weird DMs all the time, 3 times a week from strangers. It always just says, hey. All right, here we got
Just
another one.
hey?
Just hey. It's always just hey for the last 5 years. Hey. I'm just like, oh shit. It's one of these sick fucks. So of course, me, I'm a fucking sick fuck too. So I lead them on. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then of course they be like, oh man, you're really hot. I'm like, okay, great. And then I look at the picture, I'm like, okay, this is a dude, weird, but whatever. And whatnot. And then they're like, oh man, I bet you got a big ding ding. And I'm like, well, yes, I do. But I am also running for president, so I don't take pictures of that thing. You know what I'm saying? So then 2 weeks ago, for the first time, I finally hook one, right? He, right after that, sends me 2 pictures of him jerking off in bed.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I reported this shit out of his account. Take that, bitch. He'll send me unsolicited dick pics. It was not. Now send me some unsolicited pussy pics, ladies.
Okay.
Hey, Carol.
Throw in a queen.
So don't you worry about it. And that shit is out of control. I gotta talk to men. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you sending people pictures of your goddamn short, ugly fucking penis? At least put it next to a doorknob like my guy GT did for Wild Joe. Let him gauge the size. You know what I'm saying? That's how they met. You know, that's how they met and fell in love, right? Dick pics in Vegas.
That was
next to
that was
doorknobs and toilet
Jessica.
seats.
Jessica Shores. That was Jessica Shores.
Oh shit! So you guys are so hot and beautiful, I can't tell the goddamn difference.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I thought
Jessica
that
had
was
him
you.
stick his. No, that was Jessica. She had him stick his dick between the toilet and the toilet seat and take a picture, which he did for some reason. And then she brought it on the Ding Dong Show, and they basically showed it to everyone on the show and in the audience, and
Damn.
everybody saw that picture.
Show and tell.
Ooh.
We see
Right?
change.
So indirectly, it still worked to build you guys' relationship.
Well, I mean, I guess I saw it, but you know, it doesn't look good to have your dick underneath a toilet seat. Like it's a bad angle if I've ever seen one. But
All right.
you know, and I never took any nude pictures of GT, but going through his stuff, I found some negatives that I don't know who took them, but I found some negatives of just him solo with the boner, probably used for some kind of Craigslist advertising scheme. But I don't know if I'm gonna ever take them down to Walgreens and get them developed one day just to have a documentation. But
That double meat with cheese.
Right. Well, that's my guy GT. He was a wild boy. GT, before you guys actually got involved, and he was still a single, insane man because that goddamn testosterone. He actually took me to a swingers party in LA. A swingers party. And we went to the place and and I'm there. I didn't know it was a swingers party. So I'm thinking it's just a party. So I'm just hanging out by the pool, chilling. And then all these fucking hot white guys that used to look like Erin did before the change, they would come up to me and be like, so what are you guys like, security? And then me and GT looked at each other like, what are you talking about? And whatnot. All of a sudden, I noticed the entire 3 hours, the 30 people in the room would always go inside this mobile home that was outside. Now, I will say, GT disappeared for about an hour and a half on me.
Oh shit.
So I think he kind of knew what was going down. And his shirt, when he came back, his shirt was wrinkled. It had some kind of stains on it. I'm like, yo, T, where you been? He's like, nah, I was just in the bathroom. I was like,
for an hour and a half.
so there you go. Some more negatives for you, Wild Joe. There you go.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
once again. So let's give
All
another
right.
round of applause for Carol Newell. And let's jump into our closer for the evening. This woman wields babies like people in gangster movies wield two guns. One I call the commander, and the other I call the boy. That's right, commander,
God.
the boy. What up? I love those daggone beautiful babies.
Thank you. Oh my God. If you guys see a creepy little baby hand, that's because I've got a creepy little baby attached to me. Wow. Life is so different having a baby. I mean, before I had a baby, I used to take a shower. Now I have to take a shower. I mean, if I don't just grab those few minutes, they're still gonna jump in with me. But I gotta seize the moment when I can. They are constantly crying. People, they're cute though. People say, "Oh, your baby's so cute. I want to steal him." Like, that is a felony. Like in every state, by the way. But yeah, if you knew how much they poop and cry, you would not be saying that. My little girl, she cries so much, she can't stop crying. She was born. First thing she did, cry, right? I mean, wakes up from a cold sleep, straight from sleeping, straight into crying, and no transition. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. But yeah, it's rough. But yeah, I used to have fun back in the old days. Carol reminded me of some stories. I never kicked anybody in the balls, but I did have a guy that wanted me to strangle him.
Really?
Yeah, and he
Nice.
had a weak neck, like a little pencil neck. I'm not like that strong, but I was strangling him. And I felt like I was going pretty deep in there. And then he's like, harder, strangle me more. And I'm like, I'm going to kill this guy. And then he told me to. I mean, what am I going to say? Like, people are going to really believe it. I mean, I was touching the spine. I was way deep in there. Anyway, oh my God. Yeah, this is ridiculous. But, yeah, man, I've got the two babies. They're constantly sucking my tits. My little girl, she sucks so hard. It's like she's trying to take an oyster out of its shell. She's trying to shuck oysters. Oh my God. But shit, I got one upside down and said, I don't know what to do with these babies. They're hanging around like a jungle gym around here. God.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they shit all the time. They're constantly shitting. When my baby was born, they used to give you at the hospital. They used to give you a footprint, right, on the birth certificate. They had the hand and footprint. They don't do that anymore. They're too cheap, or I don't know what. I found out because they my sister bought me like a kit. You have to go to Target and buy your own kit to do the footprint. It is one of the hardest things you will ever do is trying to get a baby's footprint. It is not easy. Those things are wiggling and moving and kicking around. The ink is smearing. Like, no wonder they don't want to do this at the hospital, But yeah, the babies kick so much. My newborn baby, when he was born, he was just, I'm trying to change the diaper. The baby is kicking and kicking, and the feet are going into the shit and then hitting the wall, right? It's like a little tiny shit stamp, But heck, I might as well lacquer over it because that's the best footprint I have is that shit print. on the wall. But, anyway, my God, I think I told you guys that about the smell, but I'll just mention that there's this can called a diaper pail. It's like hermetically sealed metal canister. It's supposed to contain the smell. Nothing can contain it. This doesn't work a bit. So we got to the point that we just have to take the diapers and throw them straight into the outside trash. I mean, it really is a problem, but it solved another problem because I no longer have bums digging through my trash. I mean, they take one whiff and they're just raccoons. However, that's a different story. Those are some sick motherfuckers, those raccoons. They're enjoying it, I think. But anyway. Anyway, you guys, moral of the story is watch out before you have babies. It's harder than you imagine. But yeah, they are cute. I'm using my babies to increase my followers on Instagram. They get more likes than I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, but nothing makes you look older than taking every picture next to a newborn baby. That's for sure. But anyway, you guys, I'm Wild Joe. You can find me all over the place, Wild Joe Comedy. And I know this is a short show, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you guys, and thanks, Mista See.
Yeah, that's right. Another round of applause for Wild Joe, the commander and the boy. Nice. All right, so that's the last of the comedy show. Round of applause for all the comedians that came to the stage and whatnot. So we're gonna get out of here. We about to show. What time is it, Joe? How much time we got?
It's 10:22. We're on
22. Okay.
Perfect time.
So I'm not gonna do a
your
full
sexy
performance.
song. We got a lot of time to do your sexy song.
Oh, well, today, because we're on time, I don't want to set up, push it late. So I'm going to just I haven't done this in a while. I need to practice my national anthem. So today I'm going to make it to America. Now, if something happens during that national anthem, it happens. So let's see what we got.
Oh shit.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose for stripes and bright stars perilous by on the ramparts we watch was so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave to the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the land free. And the home of the brave. All right. That's right. That's the Dog Bar Comedy Show. Clap, clap, clap. Wild Joe, take us home.
Wow. I like that part where it waved. What was it? Wave? Flag wave? I don't know what was waving, but it went along with the word wave.
Yeah, well, it's called bratwurst, man.
Man, with the no shirt and the dreadlocks, I was getting some Milli Vanilli vibes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and you probably have the voice of Milli Vanilli too, but we will never know since nobody ever heard their actual voice.
No, I'm sure it sounded that bad.
I'm sure it sounds bad. Fabrice, the remaining member of Milli Vanilli, and he has a nice voice. He's been trying to be a singer. He puts out CDs ever since that happened, And he has a really nice voice, not like what you would expect, because it's different than the guy he lip synced to. He sounds kind of like George Michael, but he couldn't make it. You cannot make a comeback after something like that, I guess. But anyway, oh my God, this has been another fun show. Short but sweet. We did it, despite the interruptions and the crazy babies and the crazy comics. So thank you to all our comics and to Carol and Mista See. Let's go through the name of Jake Bassi, Mike Muratore, and Erin Mohr.
Woo!
Hope to see you guys all again soon on the Dive Bar Comedy. We are live on Facebook every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And then you can check the replay at divebarcomedy.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. So thanks for listening and subscribe everywhere.
Do it.
Dive Bar
Good night.
Comedy.
Do
All
it.
right, good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Peace out, guys.
you.
Y'all
We'll
later.
see you next time.
Mhm.